Hello, we are on. Um, Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Again, we are happy to see you here. This is our second open call to the community, and we are very, very happy to be discussing everything that is important to you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys to start like putting here in the chat where you're from, and if you participated from the first call. Uh, and we have the questions tab. So, if you have any question, please write them in the questions tab. So it's easier for us to see, and also for every one of you guys to be able to upvote. I'm gonna send the space to Gabriel to welcome you guys.
Thanks, Poliana. Hi, everybody. Singly in Dallas now. So, same background, so I couldn't figure out that you moved. So, good to see everybody. Like we said in our last meeting, we realized the value of talking to the community more often, to having more of these updates. So we decided to make that recurring community open call a reality. We used to have something like this in the past. During some of the times we lost the habit, so we are now putting it back. We're already going to announce the dates for the next one next month, and it's going to be a monthly thing. And the whole idea is really not we're not focused on numbers, on having a big quantity of people, but I think we are very focused on the quality and being able to have a conversation with the people who make the time to join. So very happy to see some people joining, and if you want to participate, make the questions, not just typing, but also I think we can sometimes invite some people to join video, if like we did last time. We'll do that. So really, thank you for participating. It'll be awesome to talk to you all. What is
I'm gonna be inviting Chris Skelly to be talking about some updates of the products that we had in the past month, and also a little bit in a nutshell what we are gonna have on the upcoming. Chris.
Okay, thanks, Pollyanna. Hello, everyone, to those who are on right now and those who will be listening to the recording. I'm excited that we now have these sessions on a monthly cadence. It's important for us to have the opportunity to speak with the community, hear your questions, get feedback. So I'm going to only speak for a few minutes so we can dive into some of those questions. But I wanted to highlight 5 of the key things that we are working on in the platform for delivery in Q4. So for delivering before the end of the year. So first up is Apps Engine. And so for those of you who may have joined the roadmap reveal, to recap, we are putting a lot of effort into developing the capabilities of our Apps Engine to enable people to create Rocket.Chat apps for their own use, to create Rocket.Chat apps to publish in our marketplace and share as well. And in order to make sure that we have the right full-featured developer toolkit, there are 4 items that we're working on. So the first is support for Npm packages. So that's something that we've actually recently shipped and will be expanding on during the course of the quarter. Another key item is an OAuth engine. So we'll be working on the OAuth engine to enable, obviously a lot of marketplace apps are built to connect with other systems. And so the OAuth engine will ensure that users are able to properly authenticate with those systems that we're interacting with. Third, really important, is our UI component manager. So we'll be expanding within Apps Engine the capabilities for managing, adding UI components, first initially within a room, and then elsewhere as well, for example, Sidebar and header. And then lastly, a key item, we'll be adding the ability to manage static assets via Apps Engine. Again, those are items that are coming in fourth quarter. The key here is we recognize that our current Apps Engine is a starting point, and we've had some really creative community members who have built some great apps with that starting point, but it's also constraining. So hopefully these additional items will make it easier for people to develop more robust apps as we go. Okay. Next item, I'm really excited about this. We will be launching a new WhatsApp marketplace app in conjunction with 360 Dialog. So as many of you probably know, we don't currently have that partnership in place with a WhatsApp broker. With the new WhatsApp app that we're launching, the app will be pre-connected with 360 Dialog. So any organization who currently is not a WhatsApp broker or does not currently work with one, you'll be able to activate the app, provision your phone numbers, and just use it right out of the gate like that. Very simple, straight and straightforward. We're really excited about that. As a quick note, we will have pass-through costs from 360 Dialog, so be aware of those. But we've made sure to select a great partner with great pricing to benefit all of our users. I think this will be a really good add-on for the community. Okay, and then a couple other items to touch on. Accessibility. So our platform, as people know, has expanded at a pretty good rate. And one of the things that can sometimes fall by the wayside is maintaining and ensuring web accessibility standards. And we've fallen off pace on a few key items. So we are putting in quite a bit of effort during fourth quarter to ensure that we get back to WCAG AA certification level. And so that's a key item for us. It's very important, as we all know, to ensure that we have proper accessibility across our platform, across the web as a whole. So I'm excited that we're spending time on that. Okay. And the last two items, for those of you, many of you, possibly all of you who have known our platform for a long time, it's no huge secret that the admin panels are not always user-friendly. And again, that reflects the rate at which the platform has grown and that members of the community have added to it and our core team has added to it. But we are beginning a process of going through and cleaning up the admin experience to make it easier for new admins, new workspace owners to configure the platform, see the value in it. That will help our community grow and continue to provide great ideas for expanding the platform going forward. Okay. And then lastly, interoperability is really important. There's only 30 seconds, Pollyanna. I know I'm probably running over. We have an initial Slack bridge that's currently available in the platform. In Q4, we'll be improving it. And then secondly, we've also been working with the Matrix Foundation to ensure Matrix interoperability. So we will be launching a Matrix bridge that enables federation between Rocket.Chat workspaces and other Matrix compliant messaging systems. So we're really excited about that as well. Pollyanna, I think I went a minute or so over your allocated time, but hopefully that gives everyone a good overview of what's coming next.
Don't worry about this, Chris. This is open for everyone. So thank you very much for all the updates. Again, I would like to hear from you guys that is participating. What would you guys would like to ask or to talk about or to discuss or to talk about suggestions? You can type here, or if you guys want, come and join to speak openly. So please do it. Rodrigo, Chris would like to give any word on product or on plannings, anything?
Yeah, maybe I can talk a little bit about the main objectives and focus on the engineering team. We are now structured as squads, and we kind of splitted part of the team as platform team to focus on bases of the product. And we are focusing more and more on scalability. One of the parts of the chat engine squad is to ensure that we can scale and support even bigger installations on the Rocket.Chat side and be stable on that, even for the cloud and for on-premises installations. and at the same time refactoring a lot of our code. You may notice that we are refactoring for a long time already the front end to React in order to make it more stable and scale that, even using apps engine to allow applications to install new components and so on easily, to develop kind of those integrations using React. We are kind of finishing this refactoring on the UI. So we're missing just a small part of the messages, the root message itself. The rest of the applications are already running on React. So that work is mainly focused on how we can make the Rocket.Chat more stable and have less issues on releases, so you can test better Rocket.Chat. We can ensure quality. You can have regressions in place correctly for all the features that we are doing more and more, because we are now having a huge and strong QA team to allow us to ensure stability of new features, but you still need to ensure that all the huge set of features that we have in the product to be covered in the next month. So that's basically our two main goals for this year, or this quarter, the end of the year, to focus on improve stability and quality, improving the framework and the basis of the product, and scalability as well through the microservices and moving more parts of the Rocket.Chat code to services, so we can scale them better and track and everything else. So of course we have a lot of news on the strategy on how to improve quality, and one of them I can share that we are trying to make it running this quarter as well is start doing a continuous deployment on our cloud. So people that are running on our cloud can have new features soon, and we can, of course, ensure the regressions as soon as possible on our cloud, and that continue to have on-premises release every month with a more stable feature set, because we know that we cannot force administrators to update their own instances frequently as we can do on our cloud to fix any issue as soon as possible. So that's a movement to ensure that on-premises will be more stable while you can interact quicker on our own cloud. So for that, we are, of course, needing to refactor a lot of parts of our code to ensure that we can restart a server much quicker and do that many times a day, and etc. So we have many other initiatives on that area, on our cloud, and on how we use our cloud to make the product better for on-premises as well. Yeah, that was some points that I can share, most excited ones for this year.
That's great. Thank you, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So maybe it would be
Gabriel.
worth, something that would be worth talking about is where would we see the best opportunities for the community to collaborate, like on this rewriting, for instance. If you want to give some recommendations of things the community can get involved, or even when building new features or contributing code back, what would be the general recommendations on or where to work if they're looking for issues to tackle, or general recommendations about the structure of PRs? I know they're moving everything to TypeScript. Is there any other general recommendation about how to contribute to Rocket.Chat that is evolving?
Yeah, honestly, it's been hard to understand how we can have community helping us. Sometimes being really transparent with the community here, sometimes it's even hard to review a community pull request than make it internally. Depends on the feature, because of course we need to take more care on things that we have already incorporated as processes inside the internal team. So one of the reasons to refactor some of the code, even move to TypeScript and make more framework side, is to help the community to be able to contribute without needing to know how to do some things, because the framework will ensure those kind of processes that we need to. So that's not real clear for us on how which parts we can have most community contributions, but it will be clear as soon as we can make this framework more robust and well documented for the community to contribute to our side.
Yeah, and building on that also, just we have, as we go through and we improve overall quality, we've allocated a lot of time in this quarter going forward to make sure that we're addressing reported bugs, issues, making sure that we understand them, that we work them in the proper priority order. And as Rodrigo was referring to, as with anything, there's sometimes a quick fix and there's the right fix. And so as we go through our prioritization, one of the things that we'll be trying to understand is whether something does warrant a quick fix, or whether we should make the fixes, the improvements, part of the overall services-based refactoring. And as we go, I'm sure in some cases we won't get our prioritization exactly right. And one of the things I'd suggest saying as we have these calls throughout the quarter is we'd be happy to kind of share our thinking on priorities in terms of issues that we're addressing and how we're approaching them, just in order to make sure that we have the right understanding of community impact as issues are reported, so that we can be working on the right items in the right order.
Thank you guys. So let's go for some questions that we have. So Emil just sent a question asking if we have a plan to improve and make more user-friendly Jitsi integration. So who wants to take, Chris?
Yeah. So I'll start with that one, and I'm sure Gabriel will want to jump in as well. So the short answer is yes. So right now, as people know, our Jitsi integration is a little bit clunky. That's the technical term. It's clunky. We don't have a good seamless way of initiating a call and then having appropriate users answer that call and join a conversation. So we are working on that, but from a wider lens than just Jitsi. So the way that we want to approach this is we want to be agnostic to the video conferencing tool that users, admins may want to use. And so what we're focusing on is that call management, the call connection, initiation, connection, and termination process that can then be used in conjunction with a variety of different video conferencing tools, including Jitsi. And so where we are on it is that without that seamless call initiation connection process, the utility, the functionality is limited. So we're looking to solve that, but to solve it in a video conferencing provider agnostic way, if that makes sense. Gabriel, did you want to add on to that?
Yeah, so I think on the roadmap, did we say, because we finished the designs for the whole call initiation already, so it's on the queue for development, and the whole idea is that the Rocket.Chat would do the ringing, give you the ability to schedule the calls, with all like the call initiation really, but all the different versions of how this can happen. But then the administrator would configure via app or some configuration what is the call provider that's going to be providing it. And then, of course, with Jitsi, you have embedded on the mobile app. So it's going to be a native experience on the mobile app. And we're going to make it a lot better also on the web. But the idea is if you configure a different provider, then after you click on join call, that button would just send you to the right provider for that Rocket.Chat server. And that's coming really soon. Like hopefully, definitely before the end of the year, we'll have this calling already upgraded.
On that, one of the things, and this is actually a good discussion item to share in terms of some of the internal things that we go back and forth on. We have the ability to deliver this year, but we have a variety of priorities, and so one of the things that we're currently looking at is we need to make sure that our foundation is solid as we add additional items. And so this is one of those items where we know it can be done in Q4. as we look at the quality initiatives that Rodrigo was referring to ensure that we are scalable, to ensure that we have proper test coverage, that we convert to a services-based architecture in more areas. Some of those things compete with these new feature sets as well. So, this is one of those areas where that connector does have to compete with time from the team who's also working on those quality initiatives. So that's my way of saying that, yes, Q4 would be great. Early Q1 is also a possibility on that item.
Yeah, talking about some other things as well. Emil is asking as well if we have plans to minimize RAM leaks on servers and on client side.
Yeah, I believe
Rodrigo?
I can answer that. Yes, we are working on this. This refactory I mentioned we are doing to be cloud, continuous delivery on our cloud, is part of some initiative to refactor all the bases of the server, how it initiated and how it listened to some settings. And so we are finding some leaks that we didn't find before and solving them along the way. And one of the points we are doing refactoring to TypeScript is to be able to do tracing in the code and ensure how call on the API becomes calls on the MongoDB, for example, and we understand how much load on the database we are doing and all the processes and most used methods along this way. That's not kind of common used in the past on the Node.js applications. So we're trying to structurize on that way in a way to prevent and find easily those memory leaks on the backend. On the front end, by the way, we are doing this refactoring to React is one of our main ways to try to reduce memory leaks that we know Blaze in the past was not good with memory management. So after we finish this React restructurizing, we are doing a second step that's refactoring the data cache on the front end that we do. You can take a look and when do a refresh, the data is still right there, the list of rooms. So we just sync what is missing. So this is still old in-memory database that we're going to refactor. So those refactorings probably one of the main objectives is to reduce this kind of memory leaks, and you're going to track better those memory leaks with the new libraries you're going to use. So it's part of our main objectives on chat engine part. It's quite the case. I don't know if that answers it.
Thank you guys. Emil, if you have any other comment on this, please put on the chat or question. I'm gonna come here and ask two different things about products. So Lucius is asking if why we can delete a direct chat with another user. He's asking if it's a bug or something that needs a feature to be developed. And on the other hand, we have Andre asking if we have plans to add possibility create groups by the user. Example: each user can create group and put direct message channels, etc. I don't know if he was clear on this, guys.
Yeah, I think on the delete direct messages, I think you can delete the messages themselves, but it was by design. I don't think we ever encountered the use case to delete a direct message to someone, specifically because you can only have one room with this other person. You cannot have multiple DMs. So the idea of the channel between you and someone else is a fixed room. Maybe you can delete your message, but I think we never thought about being able to delete the other person's message. And different from maybe WhatsApp or Telegram that people are used to, that you can delete the message just for you. For instance, in the case of privacy, in Rocket.Chat, we don't have this notion that you would be able to delete the message only for you. You always, when a message is deleted, is for everybody involved. So we always thought that you can delete your own message if you want, but you're not allowed to delete someone else's messages. So I think that was part of the thinking. I would love to know if more people miss the fact that they cannot clean up a DM history. So maybe something that we have to think about, but I never came across this request before.
Yeah, I'd say we don't have specific additional plans in mind here, but it's a good item to look into. And so, there are certain types of organizations that have rules against deleting messages. So, for example, if you're a financial institution, you're required to keep a record of all of the messages. So that is something that we can look into, and I've noted that down to consider as an option for us.
Yeah. Maybe what you could do if someone wants to reset their side, we thought about having a timestamp on a channel that it flags from what point the user can read messages on their subscription. That would be a way for you to invite a user to a channel, but you don't want them to read what was on the channel before they joined. So maybe if we implement that feature for channels where you have these timestamps that blocks the history, maybe if I want to hide my previous history with a specific user, I could actually set this timestamp to now. Then I would just stop being able to see all the history. So it would be a way to block and no one else. But you're actually just blocking yourself. You're not really deleting the message. But if you want to hide from your UI, that'll be a way forward.
So it's pretty much like a visibility thing. It's like turning off your own visibility to the message. But there's also another shape where in the conversation, everything that I post, let's say it is a DM between myself and Gabriel, I can delete everything that I posted myself in that conversation. Yeah. And so there's definitely a different way of implementing this.
Yeah, we just don't allow you to delete what the other person posted. All right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's of course important to understand the use cases. Right. Of course, if that makes sense, we are always willing to have that at least as an option. So admins can enable that. But we never find that as a request up to now.
So what was the next question? I forgot.
Yeah. The next question. I think Aaron was answering in the chat, but it is from Andre, and he asked, do you have a plan to add possibility to create groups by the user? I think we can actually. Each user can create group and put direct messages, channel, etc.
I believe it's more on creating a folder to group the channels.
I don't know
maybe it's like that.
Yeah, if it was very clear on the question. Andre, please, if you can ask it again to make it more clear. But I'm gonna come back here to Thomas' question because it's upvoted for some people. He's asking if we are implementing sometime soon the display quoted message above the user message. He said it's a feature. Yeah, go ahead, Gabriel.
We should do this. There was a long time request, and now that we're refactoring the message into React, maybe we could have these issues looked at. Is the issue like 27? Is it a feature request 27? I know that it's very old.
As far as I remember, it was already solved on our designs for the new messages, and the messages is the only part we are still missing to convert to React. So probably we'll solve that along this refactoring of the messages as well. But yeah, it's a well-weighted and well-requested fix on our side. And of course, it was a technical problem because we're reusing the attachment field for that. So now we're creating a proper configuration for quoted.
One here, and it's for you, Chris, but I think it's yes for everyone. Do you have in plan to improve mobile app?
Yes, we do. That's the short answer. Yeah. So we recognize the need for improvements. A couple things that are happening. We have assigned a product manager to work with that team to make sure that we have the right priority order for working through improvements. And we are also allocating time from a member of our UX team to work specifically on mobile. That is something that in the past we haven't been able to do. We're now at the stage where we can, and getting back to the short answer is yes, it's very much a goal of ours to improve the mobile app.
So, Rodrigo, the question about the Electron desktop clients. I know that the reason we were not publishing new ones at least on the Apple Store, was because of Apple requires us to support Apple ID, right?
Yeah. On Electron side, there are two main points. First is we need to support Apple OAuth login on the Electron side. It's kind of tricky because it's not flexible in a way that you can configure your own keys. So we're finding a way to support at least to pass on the Apple review and publish that on the app stores. We did that for the mobile, but on the mobile, we are compiling this thing internally. So we're now seeing how we can deal with that on web and Electron, because Electron is basically the web version, but we are working that on this release. So I believe in the next, this month release, we're going to have this Apple ID login fixed, and we can update the Electron client on the app stores. And the second point is that we are now having an engineer focused on the Electron application to give attention to those small fixes and improvements, because it's a small project. It's just basically a web view with small improvements on top of the application, but we didn't have a full person dedicated for that, and the front-end team was taking care of that as much as possible, but of course, like competing with other priorities. So now we're having an Electron engineer joining to focus on improving the Electron application along the way as well.
Good. Something else that Eric is asking is if Rocket.Chat users will have any special price to use 360 Dialog.
Yeah, so on this, we are finalizing the pricing. I don't know that there's special pricing per se in terms of it being discounted, but we are essentially passing through the best pricing available from 360 Dialog.
Yeah, we did get into an agreement about like a volume discount. So in a way, Rocket.Chat users would be benefiting from a volume discount that 360 Dialog made available for us, and we believe it's, from what I looked out there, it's the most competitive price we've seen anywhere. When I did the research, it was very good pricing. So it's we don't have the final, like Christopher said, we don't have the final number yet, but it's gonna be yeah, you guys are gonna like it, I'm sure. from if it goes from like what has been discussed so far, it's gonna be very affordable.
Yeah, and as people probably know, we are of course subject to the pricing that Facebook offers to their WhatsApp brokers, and we put a lot of effort into finding a broker with attractive pricing that we can pass through, and that has really been our focus.
Really great. And guys, I don't know if everyone know, but we've launched. Hi, Holland. Just give me 1 second. We've launched our new website a couple weeks ago. So if you guys didn't see it, please go there and look at the new website. Hi, Holland. Would you like to ask something?
Yeah. Hi, Holland.
Hi, great to see some of you again. You do amazing work. Just wanted to point to the discussion.
Can you guys hear him, or is very low for me as well?
Yeah, it's coming through very quietly.
Very low, but
yeah, we can hear you. It's just
better
muted.
now. Hello.
Yeah, it's slightly better, but
Yeah.
We can hear you. Just say,
Okay.
speak loudly.
Great idea. You do amazing work, yeah, and we had these points in the discussion. We're part of the community. Thank you for sharing the time with us. It's really keen on the open source culture. We are sharing, and we get some emails by partners we are supporting. We are mainly integrators. What is the future path of the open source, the community version? And if they would need to fear that more features go into enterprise, do you have any long-term plans which feature sets might go into the enterprise version so that we can give them an answer here?
Yeah. I'm glad the question was asked. Now, kind of to address it, I'm sure others will want to add on. The short answer is we're currently putting effort into developing our stewardship principles for Rocket.Chat so that no one is ever surprised by what happens is one core thing. We also, our view is that we don't consider it good practice to have to move feature sets. That's not something that is core to our planning in any way. With the identity management features in particular, that was a challenging and difficult decision that we tried to make the decision that's right for Rocket.Chat, for the community, for our enterprise customers, in that feature set had continued to expand over the years in terms of the LDAP, SAML, OAuth capabilities. We also have a lot of large organizations who are using that feature set, not contributing back, and there's definitely a support strain for the engineering team relating to that feature set. So we spent a lot of time considering the different approaches, and we decided to move some of the advanced features over to enterprise, but leaving the core basic LDAP, SAML, OAuth features in place for community, because we want to stay true to the approach that those basic core features are there. They can be extended by community members. So we want to strike the right balance. We hope we have. But key thing is that we are not driving in a direction of moving feature sets from community to enterprise.
Yeah, there was a very, we gave a very deep and hard look into everything and made sure one of the reasons, the ways it was structured, that we didn't want to be in a position to do this ever again. So the whole conversation was like, let's make sure that this is the refined a framework for the decision that we apply to this and make clear for the community what new features we're going to be very upfront and say new features that we're building, which ones are going to community, which things are going to be in advanced mode for enterprise, and we don't have to just change anything else. And because we know how impactful this kind of decision is, and so we made this decision with in mind that's being the last time we do this. So unless something totally that is not on our radar, something happens, the whole idea is this was something to be the last change that we were doing, because to confirm to this new policy. So we don't see, and we have nothing in the roadmap, or we cannot foresee anything that should be changed from one place to the other.
Okay, thank you. Good to hear your commitment to keep the open core as it is regarding the feature set. Yeah.
And one additional note, Roland and others. One of the things we talked about in our last call is that we want to make sure that our long-standing contributing community members are not adversely impacted here. If anyone feels like they are, please reach out to Sing so that we can coordinate and figure out how to accommodate. And again, this is a change that is a difficult decision. We believe it's the right one for the health of Rocket.Chat and this community. It definitely will impact some of those larger organizations going forward, but that will also help to fund investment in some of the things that Rodrigo and team are working on that again benefits the community. So.
thank you everybody for interacting with us, obviously in the forum and GitHub and open also, but also attending this, which will become a regular cadence every single month. We'll have one of these open call, and we really invite you to if you have any suggestion or input, or if you just want to listen in real time in first person, some of the updates. This is the event to attend. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you everybody. And I guess just the last question from I think from Andre. I understand, just to make sure I understood it clear, if the idea is that you'll be able to group channels into folders on your sidebar, we are looking into updates to the sidebar. I don't think this was a specific, we don't have any designs ready or final definition of how the updates to the sidebar will look like. So if you're talking about this specifically, that's not on the roadmap yet. If you talk about creating actual teams, then I think users can do this. It's just a permission configuration, right? But what I have to say is we do have some the plan to create a secondary sidebar that would have some of these features where the channel, you will be able to see the sub channels of the channel. So in a way, you'll be grouping the discussions inside of channel, but it's a kind of an exploration phase of something that we are looking at. And we will invite the community to look at those mockups and this exploration and give us feedback, but it'll be more of a future thing than something on the short term.
Hi guys. So again, Gabriel, Singh, thank you very much for your speech. We are moving forward to the end. Just to confirm, as Singh was saying, our next call is gonna be November 10th, and they're gonna be sharing the link with you all. Thank you again for participating. If you want to send any suggestion, anything you'd like to see in the next calls, please send a direct message to us, to Sing on the forums, and we're going to be very, very happy to direct them in the next call.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay safe. Hope to see everybody on a meetup soon.
Up to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Next
Bye-bye.
month. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.